Hey there. Finally going live. First live stream for Start With You Wellness. Thank you for joining. So, today I'm going to talk about what is holding you back. And I apologize, I have halls in so I don't cough during the live stream. But I do want to talk about what's holding you back and kind of use myself as a case study because it took so much for me to even kind of start with you wellness. I started the company and basically it was the focus of helping women that are 40 plus, which is still kind of the same idea, but it was helping women 40 plus from a health and fitness perspective. I am a certified yoga instructor. I'm also a health and wellness coach through the Mayo Clinic. And through that whole process of getting certified and getting those certificates, I really wanted to help. But I found that I was getting in my own way, and I'll go into some of those steps. And possibly it's the same thing that happens for you. And basically, what I find is, and what I'm doing now, is challenging myself to get out of my comfort zone. I do things that remove me from my comfort zone, but in other ways. So it could be with work, with learning. I'll definitely get out of my comfort zone and try new things, learn new things. I'm always changing a job. um, but when it comes down to things that I want to do for myself personally, meaning from a helping and what I feel is the other purpose for myself, I kind of get in my own way. So I wanted to kind of talk through that, and I'll layer in like some of the background as well. But you'll see me kind of reference because I have a whole list on my phone of things that kind of one, can get seen as a form of procrastination. So one of the things that I have is that I am a big analysis paralysis person. I will research, and as we kind of go through these lives and through the channel, and you get to know me, I definitely dig in. I always love to learn, and I don't think that that's a problem. But when it comes down to actually committing to, say, YouTube, or it comes down to going live, even tonight, there's like a spec that's in the back that has been driving me crazy, and there's nothing on my wall. It's just that it's something with the camera. And but I was up here wiping, trying to figure it out, trying to see if maybe if I get over here, then I'll block it with my hair. Anyway, it's just going to be there. But when I say analysis paralysis, it basically means that I'm looking at how can I stream, and it's good to know, right? But how can I get this dot off the screen so it doesn't distract people? Um, how, like, what am I going to talk about? What's going to happen? What if I get asked a question? What if no one sees this, which is quite possible? What am I going to do? What if it's a whole bunch of people? What if it's someone asks me a question and I don't know what to say? Or, it's this whole tumbleweed process of, coming up with scenarios that may or may not happen. And guess what? I'm a grown woman. Things happen and I adjust and I know how to address them. But it's just something that I, really wanted to figure out. And, that can also be seen as a form of perfectionism as well. Um, I kind of wrap it all into getting in your own way, but being perfect, right? So, it's a whole thin line between being presentable and being able to actually do and say, this is enough. I just need to go press play, hit live. Let's go. Let's get it. So that's pretty much why I'm also challenging myself to do a 30-day live. So this is the first day. Right now, I know it's a little late, but hopefully, if you see this on a replay, I'm dropping the comments. But basically, what I'm looking to do is kind of push myself to go live, even if it's not a long period of time, but it's definitely me going live and making sure that I kind of get out of that comfort zone, right? Because How else am I gonna know how to stream? How else am I gonna know how to edit my videos? I can edit, but how else am I going to do it and get it out there, get feedback? Because I'm trying to make it, be a perfectionist. I'm by no means any, million, million subscriber YouTuber where my videos need to look like they're sheer perfection. But guess what? I was definitely trying to see how close to perfection I could get, which is really was taking me years. And I'm not exaggerating. It definitely took me years to get to this point. So hopefully through my journey of getting out of my own way and really committing to my goals that I have, and as we move along, I'll definitely share some of those. But just being able to do, because guess what? When you write a journal entry, or even you start and stop, but even if you look back and reflect over the year, or if you do it in pictures, if you do it through your calendar, if you just do it through your thoughts, and everyone makes resolutions and they'll say like, oh, okay, I want to do this, I want to lose weight, I want to start a business, I want to start a side hustle, I want to do all these different things. And when it comes down to it, somehow, some way, life's life definitely be life it. And then the next thing the next year comes and you wonder why you're still in the same place, or if you progressed, you didn't get to the place where you want to be. And honestly, at this point in time, I'm done with that particular scenario. Ironically enough, I'm like a crazy journaler. And when I say I'm not a daily journal person, I normally would journal when I go away. So basically, it would be like I'm a vacation journaler. So that means like, oh, I'm gonna give me a journal. I'm gonna give me a cute journal. I'm gonna write, some things, what I want to do, how I see myself, write my thoughts. And I actually went through some of my journals from a few years ago, and there I saw that I kept saying the same exact thing, like, where I want to be, what I want to do, what I envision for my life. But guess what? I'm not there. So I said, that's it. Like, this has to be it, right? We're not getting any younger. And now I feel that this has to be the time. Like, the whatever they say, the line is in the sand. I've drawn it. That's where we are. That's what it is. And hopefully through this journey of me working through things, I'm not unrealistic to say that, oh, everything I set out to do, I'm going to get it done by the exact date. I know that there might be some things. I'm trying to be lenient with myself. When I say lenient, give myself some grace, so to speak. But I definitely want to push and make sure that I meet these goals. So, um, I'm just looking at my notes here just to make sure. So I went through the push play. The overthinking is also part of this as well. Coming up with excuses. I went through procrastination, getting out of the comfort zone. One of the things that I also see is all I have a tendency to come up with so much stuff, meaning that so many scenarios, like I mentioned, but also even if it's sometimes like a simple task, I will make it seem like it's going to take 90 days to get it done. So, just say, for instance, one of the things I was looking to do, I have a whole bunch of pictures that I need to scan and come up with some kind of way to kind of like digitally store them. And then also the actual physical ones, like store them so that they're safe, right? So I did the first step, which was I got like a box from Michael's that is kind of like a keepsake box. So I have the pictures there. But within that, I also need to pick out some pictures that I want to display as well. Child, you want to know that all it is that those pictures are in the box, because I feel like it's the biggest task of, oh my gosh, I gotta find out what company I need to scan it through, what's gonna be the easiest way, or do I get like one of those scanners and scan it myself? Then how am I gonna, for the physical pictures? I don't know if I want like a whole bunch of photo albums. Do I just get one and just try to like put everything in there, or get two and like break them up? And I have been overthinking this, and the only thing I can say I've done is that I have a keepsake box and all my pictures are in there. So all of that to say is that you do need to break it down into smaller tasks, which I know all of this stuff, but it's just a matter of like, okay, you need to do it. So that's something, and that's kind of like a mediocre type of explanation, but is even like into real things, like bigger things in life, right? Things that you need to move forward. So it's even like if you're getting back into exercise. Since I was, with the vid, I was down for a couple of weeks, and it's a, once you're exercising and you have that stroll going where you get your routine and then all of a sudden you get sick and then you fall off, it's hard to get back started. So it's getting up early, making sure, for me, getting on the treadmill, getting a little run in, or yoga, doing something along those lines. And it was the hardest thing to get up. I, uh about 6:30 in the morning, the last thing I just wanted to pull the covers over my head, and it took me a few days to get like really conscious effort. Like, okay, well, I'm not gonna, I can't do it right now because I got to do this, but I'm gonna do it after work. I'm gonna make sure that I get on, and I keep putting it off, and then next thing you know, it's late night. There's the couch, and then it's bed, and I'm asleep. That type of thing. So I never like I never get on. So I know that I'm somebody that has to exercise or first thing in the morning, because if I leave it to the end of the day or some point in the middle of the day, it's not gonna happen. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, where you kind of know what you need to do instead of making all of these excuses of like, oh well, no, I know, I know I'll do it at lunchtime. Maybe I'll do that, or maybe right after work while I'm watching something. I'll have something on the iPad. I'll put something on, and then I'll get on the treadmill, and it doesn't happen more times than not. So that's the reason why I say, I need to focus in on getting back into the exercise routine, which I have done. And I'm started slowly this week getting back into it. But maybe you run into the same thing. And what I would like to do with this community that we build here is drop in the comments if you look at this on the replay, kind of let me know what type of things you're going through too, because I think as we kind of know that we're not alone in whatever we're going through, that it kind of helps supports us. So some of the steps that I'm looking to do, first of all, is this 30 days. And I'll map out and I'll share, probably I'll do it in a short or something that'll show like what I'm going to talk about um, for each of the days. I've mapped out 15 days so far. I'm hoping that I get some kind of feedback or something that comes in from someone in the community, and I can layer that in as another topic. But trust me, I have more, there's more than 30 things to talk about. But the way I'm using these 30 days is the first 15 days, I kind of want to use that as prep. Because normally you find that I've done like the 12-week year, which was super effective for me because I do need to break things down and kind of put them in chunks, and then just focus on a few things that I want to reach. And I was successful with that. And I do want to do it again. But I find right now, what I want to do with these first 15 days is kind of do like a cleanup, a mental dump, things that I want to do. So, today was just hit press play and let's go. Let's go live. Let's do this. Let's kind of get over that initial hump. That's like that first day that you finally get up and go to the gym after you've been, missing in action, and it's been really tough for you. So that's what this is. And then, excuse me. And then as I kind of progress, I'll be able to go through some of the things. But some of the things I want to talk through is more on like the mind state of trying to get out of your own way and what that looks like. I also want to do like a brain dump of all the things that I want to accomplish and do. Go through journaling, which is another topic, but actually doing it on a more excuse me, doing it on a more consistent basis. I do want to do it daily, but I think I put too much into it. Like, gotta be like the best, the cutest journal, gotta have this pen, and it always needs to look like it's a particular scenario. Like I'm at a cafe and I'm writing, girl, look, I don't have that time. Okay. So, what journaling looks like for me, that's another one. Going into creating habits, I do believe in stacking habits. So that's something that I want to also discuss as well. And this, like a digital clean out, because I'm horrible. And I say I'm horrible. I am horrible when it comes to digital files. Um, Also look at what the road to wellness looks like for me, and kind of discuss what that is too, especially as a woman like going through perimenopause and all that business, which I don't mean to say all that business. It's just that's a whole other topic. But kind of going through that, some of the things that I experienced so far and navigating through that, because I think I think we're at a good space right now where the topic is top of mind. There are a lot of folks that are in the know that are talking about it, not just, talking heads that, have no idea. I think it's a really good conversation that's happening right now, to the benefit of women that are in their late 40s, early 50s, and approaching menopause. I think that that's definitely something as well. um Also, what I wanted to go through and share is that being a late diagnosis with ADHD, that's something that was an interesting revelation that happened when I was diagnosed. But now it makes sense on why, like, I would look at some of these ADHD, videos on YouTube or whatever, like how to ADHD, or some of the filing and organization steps, and all of a sudden they really made sense to me, and it gelled, and I was like, oh, but at the time I was like, I don't have ADHD, but this is like so great. But then come to find out I was diagnosed with that. So I definitely want to kind of talk through that as well. um, Another piece too is I have been diagnosed with a chronic autoimmune disease, lupus, SLE, and then also Sjogren's. So I gotta want to talk through that too and navigating that, because I'm not necessarily I'm kind of in the natural way of trying to deal with it, but I don't want to downplay anything. And I know it's a whole process, but I do want to touch on that as well, because I think that that's something that um us as a community, just as women, Black women as well, having that support, um, and really navigating what that means. Because for me, I think one of the biggest parts of it is that fatigue is a thing, right? But as a Black woman, you got to get up and do, like, it was just always instilled in me that I always had something to do. If I don't do it, then who else is going to do it, type of thing. And because of that, I think I ignored a lot of the stresses and the fatigue that I feel. And it all catches up with you if you don't address it, right? So I think layering that into a discussion, as well as how I deal with things mentally, also physically, taking care of myself, nutrition wise, coming off of it. It's like, I know it sounds crazy, but I think those are some of the things that I definitely want to also cover during these first 15 days. And then also, um, kind of laying out what my goals are and figuring out how we look at this through the 12-week year. Because I do think that that's a good way to focus, because then you feel like you actually accomplished something, like you actually see it and you have these tangible things that you're moving towards. And for me, that's what I need. Like, I kind of, and everybody talks about, oh, it's a microwave generation. I am not the microwave generation, but I do need to see some progress, right? And it kind of gave me my own sense of accountability as well. So I do want to kind of move into that. And then also another area that's funny for me is that I do want to increase my reading again. So I am legendary. I have like a good amount of books and a good amount of like Kindle books as well. But now just really taking out the time to sit down and read and focus on them. And there's a few that I really want to focus on this year. So I do want to take a day to kind of go through the ones that I'm really looking at. And if you have any books that are like truly, foundational for you or had an impact, please let me know in the comments as well. So there's quite a bit to talk about. So, looking forward to this journey. Thank you for tuning in. And hopefully, as much as I share, I want you to share back. And hopefully, we can support each other as we all look to meet our goals this year. And this is a big time. Especially like I'm kind of like into the woo woo as well. But with the eclipse season coming, definitely a time to harness the energy of the eclipse. So I'm looking forward to meeting you, talking with you, collaborating, and have a great evening. Thank you.